What happens when two of the world's most extreme electric off-road machines finally go head-to-head? On one side is the legendary Mercedes-Benz G580 with EQ technology, bringing decades of G-Class heritage into the electric era with 4 individually controlled electric motors. On the other is the massive GMC Hummer EV SUV, built to dominate trails with incredible power, CrabWalk, 4-wheel steering, and a presence that makes almost every other SUV look small. But when luxury meets brute force, which one is the true king of electric off-roading? Today, we're putting them through the ultimate comparison to find out.
Welcome back to AutoMaster Drive, driving the future of cars. Electric vehicles are no longer just about saving fuel or commuting to work. Today's electric SUVs can climb mountains, cross rough terrain, deliver supercar-like acceleration, and offer technology that was almost impossible just a few years ago. 2 vehicles perfectly represent this new era. The Mercedes G580 with EQ technology stays true to the iconic G-Class while embracing electrification with remarkable precision and luxury. The GMC Hummer EV SUV takes a completely different approach, focusing on extreme capability, huge size, and advanced off-road technology. In this comparison, we'll evaluate exterior design, performance, off-road capability, range and charging, interior and technology, everyday practicality, value, and finally decide which electric 4x4 deserves your money. Let's begin. Design and road presence. The moment you see these 2 SUVs, it's obvious they were designed with completely different philosophies. Mercedes didn't reinvent the G-Class. Instead, it carefully evolved one of the most recognizable SUV designs ever created. The G580 keeps the boxy silhouette, upright windshield, short overhangs, and premium appearance that have defined the G-Class for decades. Even though it's now electric, there's absolutely no confusion about what it is. It still looks every bit like a G-Wagon. That familiarity is exactly what many buyers want. Meanwhile, the GMC Hummer EV SUV is impossible to ignore. Everything about it is oversized. The massive body, extremely wide stance, aggressive wheel arches, futuristic lighting, and military-inspired proportions give it a completely different personality. Rather than elegance, the Hummer focuses on intimidation. It wants to look powerful before it even starts moving. Both vehicles turn heads wherever they go, but for very different reasons. The Mercedes attracts attention through timeless luxury. The Hummer demands attention through sheer size and aggressive styling. If you prefer refined sophistication, the G580 clearly stands out. If you love bold, futuristic American muscle, the Hummer delivers a visual impact that's difficult to match.
Underneath their rugged exteriors, these SUVs showcase 2 very different approaches to electric performance. The Mercedes G580 with EQ technology uses 4 individually controlled electric motors, 1 dedicated to each wheel. This setup gives the SUV exceptional traction, precise torque distribution, and impressive control both on and off the road. Instead of relying only on raw horsepower, Mercedes focuses on intelligent power delivery. Every wheel constantly adjusts its torque depending on the terrain, helping maintain stability even in challenging conditions. The GMC Hummer EV SUV, however, takes a more aggressive route. Its electric powertrain is designed to deliver enormous acceleration and massive torque, giving drivers an experience that feels surprisingly dramatic for such a large vehicle. Press the accelerator and the Hummer launches with incredible force, despite its enormous size. The difference becomes clear after a few minutes behind the wheel. The Mercedes feels composed, refined, and incredibly controlled. The Hummer feels explosive, exciting, and almost outrageous. One is engineered for precision. The other is engineered to impress. Neither philosophy is wrong. It simply depends on what kind of driving experience you enjoy most. Off-road capability. This is where both SUVs truly earn their reputations.
The Mercedes G580 proves that electrification doesn't mean sacrificing legendary G-Class capability. Its 4 independent electric motors allow extremely precise wheel control, making technical rock crawling and uneven terrain easier to manage. Mercedes has also introduced unique features like G-turn, allowing the vehicle to rotate almost in place on loose surfaces, and G-steering, which improves maneuverability on difficult trails. These technologies aren't just impressive demonstrations, they're designed to help drivers navigate challenging environments with greater confidence. The GMC Hummer EV SUV answers with its own collection of advanced off-road features. Its famous CrabWalk mode allows all 4 wheels to turn in the same direction, enabling diagonal movement through tight spaces and difficult trails. Combined with 4-wheel steering, adaptive air suspension, impressive ground clearance, and rugged off-road engineering, the Hummer is built for serious adventure. Both vehicles are remarkably capable away from paved roads. The Mercedes emphasizes precision, balance, and technical
Range and charging. Range is where the conversation becomes much more practical, because an extreme off-road vehicle isn't very useful if you're constantly worrying about where the next charger is. The Mercedes G580 with EQ technology is designed around a large battery and can deliver an EPA-estimated range of around 239 miles, depending on configuration and conditions. The Hummer EV SUV can go considerably farther in certain configurations, with GMC rating the 2X at up to 319 miles of EPA-estimated range. That gives the Hummer a meaningful advantage for long-distance highway driving. But range isn't the only factor. Charging speed, charging infrastructure, temperature, driving style, terrain, and even off-road use can all affect how quickly an EV can recover its range. And this is where the Tesla supercharger network has traditionally set a very high benchmark, but neither the Mercedes nor the Hummer is a Tesla. For adventure-focused buyers, charging access becomes an important part of the ownership experience. So if you're planning long road trips between remote destinations, the Hummer's higher available range can be a major advantage. But if your priority is technical off-roading and the distinctive G-Class experience, the Mercedes may still be worth the compromise.
interior, luxury, and technology. Step inside the Mercedes, and the personality changes completely. The G580 combines the familiar upright G-Class cabin with premium materials, digital displays, advanced driver assistance, and the kind of luxury expected from a Mercedes-Benz. Everything feels designed around refinement. The Hummer takes a different approach. Its cabin is futuristic, spacious, and unmistakably rugged. Large displays, distinctive controls, advanced camera systems, and available Super Cruise give the Hummer a strong technology-focused personality. And there's one important difference. Mercedes is selling you the experience of owning an electric G-Class. GMC is selling you the experience of driving an enormous electric adventure machine. The Mercedes feels more traditional and luxurious. The Hummer feels more futuristic and unconventional. For someone who spends most of their time in the city, that distinction could matter. For someone who wants their SUV to feel like an adventure vehicle every time they get behind the wheel, the Hummer's personality is hard to ignore.
Here's where things get interesting. These vehicles may be built for extreme environments, but most owners will spend the majority of their time on normal roads. Commuting, grocery shopping, highways, parking lots, and family trips. The Mercedes G580's boxy shape gives it a practical advantage in terms of visibility and usable cabin space, while its G-Class identity makes it feel special even during ordinary driving. The Hummer EV SUV is much larger. That creates a commanding driving position and impressive interior space, but it can also make tight city streets and parking garages more challenging. And then there's efficiency. Neither vehicle is exactly designed around maximum efficiency. They're huge, heavy, luxury electric off-roaders. So if your primary goal is simply getting the most miles from every kilowatt hour, there are much more efficient EVs available. But that's not really why buyers choose these vehicles. They're buying capability.
They're buying presence, and they're buying an experience.
Price and value. Now we reach one of the biggest questions. How much does all of this capability actually cost? The Mercedes G580 with EQ technology sits firmly in the luxury performance category. You're not just paying for an electric powertrain, you're paying for the G-Class name, engineering, craftsmanship, luxury, and the unique 4-motor electric architecture. The Hummer EV SUV is also far from an affordable electric SUV. GMC positions it as a premium electric off-roader, with pricing that rises significantly as you move through the different configurations. So this isn't really a battle between a cheap EV and an expensive EV. It's a battle between two expensive electric adventure machines with very different personalities. The Mercedes makes more sense if you want luxury, heritage, and precision. The Hummer makes more sense if you want maximum size, dramatic styling, and extreme off-road technology. And that brings us to the final question. Which one should you actually choose?
If your priority is raw size, aggressive presence, and extreme off-road technology, the GMC Hummer EV SUV is incredibly difficult to ignore. CrabWalk, 4-wheel steering, available air suspension, huge dimensions, and enormous electric performance. It's basically an electric off-road statement. But the Mercedes G580 plays a different game. It takes one of the world's most recognizable luxury off-roaders and transforms it into an electric machine without abandoning its identity. 4 individually controlled motors give it incredible precision, and features like G-Turn show just how differently Mercedes approached electric off-road capability. So which one wins? For extreme American-style adventure and maximum presence, Hummer EV. For luxury, heritage, precision, and the unique G-Class experience, Mercedes G580.
So now it's your turn. Would you choose the Mercedes G580 or the GMC Hummer EV? Tell me your winner in the comments. And more importantly, tell me why. If you enjoyed this comparison and want to see more future electric trucks, SUVs, and the biggest EV battles coming to America, make sure you subscribe to AutoMaster Drive, because the next generation of electric vehicles is only getting started. AutoMaster Drive, driving the future of cars.